I say
Says hi.
hi. I can use some pastries. It's one airplane ride. You just want something to pop on and it sounds like a great edible thing. Help That is not Welcome to the Northernist Podcast. We are two friends in fiber who knit, craft, and crochet. Whatever. We do all the fiber crafts, guys. We are coming to you in episode 183 from Saskatoon in Waterloo. I am still out visiting my parents, and I probably will be for a while. Diana is in Waterloo, having just eaten fresh pastries, so don't feel any sympathy for her because she didn't have to bake or clean up from them. They just got delivered.
All I said was, could you put the clean dishes away and put the dirty ones back in the dishwasher? And I came out to discover that absolutely all the dishes are done, the kitchen is totally clean, and there's a bunch of hot, fresh pastries.
No sympathy for you whatsoever.
I'm having a great night.
None. None. Hey, I'm no longer multiple shades of brown.
That's good.
Washed all the paint off. Was wash painting too, hey? So like that gets everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, right. Forgot about that part.
Do the skeletons look better?
They do. So does the dire mole rat dog thing.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. I would say dire mole rat. Dad says dog. So we're gonna have a skeleton sitting camp chair, and we've got a little plastic blue circle thing to represent a kid's pool, and we've got some skeleton fish for the pool. And he's gonna have an old fishing pole. We have the dog in the pool, chasing the mermaid skeleton.
This is starting being very elaborate.
That's one of the easier ones. So
we're gonna get pictures, right? Lots and lots of pictures.
Oh yeah. We'll totally take pictures. That is not a problem. We can do that for you guys. All right. What am I drinking? I am drinking decaf coffee because I'm still not allowed caffeine for 2 more weeks. Panic attacks to stop, but I miss caffeine.
Sacrifices.
But,
better than panic attacks.
Yep. Oh, it's nothing fancy. It's just a decaf French roast. It's the Co-op blend decaf French roast. Do you know how hard it is to find decaf coffee?
I actually don't because I've never looked.
Try. It's really hard. They're like, oh, well, you drink Tim Hortons then. No, I don't. I don't like Tim Hortons coffee. It's a thing. It's what's in my cup. I also like, whatever. I've got water. I got ginger ale. I have the usual Jocelyn beverage train going on here. I did try some raspberry leaf organic tea this morning. A really nice mellow tea. Not raspberry-y, but it's not from the plant or from the berry. It's from the, plant.
The leaf, yeah.
The leaf. But it makes a really nice, mild, just tasty tea. So I'm like, okay. Just a tasty kind of green tea. Yeah.
I've had some of that in the past. Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's quite nice. I'm quite happy with it. So I'm happy I got that box. That's traditional medicinals. They're the ones that do the really good minty.
It's even that kind that I had, but that was like years ago. I guess they make a good raspberry leaf tea.
Guess they make a good raspberry leaf tea. I've really only tried their mint and their raspberry leaf tea, but 2 out of 2 so far, so maybe I'll get adventurous and try another one of theirs at some point. I'm not in Sobeys often, and that's where I find it.
Okay.
So, but Mom and Dad shop at Sobeys, so I'm there right now. And Co-op.
In my cup, I have the Twinings Goodnight Blend, chamomile plus stuff.
Chamomile and fennel are the 2 primary.
Okay. Plus stuff. Chamomile's the important part.
Sure.
So, I might be falling asleep by the end of this. On the other hand, I just ate a whole bunch of sugar, so
I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay today, yeah. Yeah, should be fine.
I also slept for like 14 hours last night because apparently I can't go for a walk in the woods for 2 hours.
You were telling me.
I'm also going to chalk it up to having stayed up really late the night before with an impromptu visit with the only 2 other people that are in our social bubble.
That's fair. I suspect it was probably a combination of the two.
Probably. The fact that I don't like go outside except to get groceries.
Yes, well, that you need to just do on your own.
It's very depressing. I can usually count days it's been since I was last outside.
And I've been that way for years.
It's very depressing. I'm developing so much empathy.
You are going to be able to empathize the snot out of what it's like to be a disabled person, which is not really anything I would ever wish for you.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. The stitch marker brought to you by projects I'm currently working on. It's an awkward decrease. I like the look of it, so I'm going to do it.
And I have just knit with the wrong color all the way around. Gosh darn it. Unknit this one row. There's one row of progress that I've had, and I got to unknit it.
Yep. Well done. In which case, I guess I'm going first.
Yeah. What have you been working on this week?
I'll talk about what I'm working on. Do I need to do 2 up front, right again? Am I one more than you?
Got my standard 3 projects.
In which case, because I have 4, I'll do 2 first. Which is good because I can blow through the 2 quick ones. I have casted on a new Find Your Fade. So I have made one. If you have been watching us since March when the pandemic hit, it's my background when I'm at home in the office. But I did not take it with me. I did, however, take the skeins. Thank you, Elsa, for helping me get that color fade looking right. And I have been working my way through it. I cannot tell you the names of the first 2 colors of yarn. I cannot tell you where I got the first 2 colors of yarn because they are scrap yarn. I don't know. There's no ball bands. They're just, I know their fingering weight. I know their sock because all my fingering is sock for the most part. I very rarely buy fingering that's not sock weight or like not merino nylon because I tend to like merino nylon. I like how it in the end and I like how it holds up. So that's what I do. I'm trying to knit 2 together when I'm not supposed to be.
Well, don't do that. You'll have to knit back the row like I'm doing right now. I'm making negative progress on this thing.
Be crazy. On a shawl, I would just throw an extra knit 1 front back in. I would not knit back for 1 stitch out there on a shawl. Are you nuts? That's how you make no progress in a day. So here is my current progress. I have made it through my first color and I've striped into my second color, which has gone really well. So far we got a lot of white going on here.
No surprise.
No surprise. And some purpley blues, because everybody loves a nice haphazard color description like purpley blue.
Indigo.
Well, that's what it is. It's purpley blue. Not quite indigo. But we're definitely a purpley blue with a white speckle going on. So I'm mixing in my second color now, and we'll keep going. I will eventually reach full skeins with tags. We're just not there yet, and we're not going to be there for a while. This is on my short 4mm needles that were housing the sock head slouch hat last week because I'm not quite ready to flip the shawl over to a longer needle yet. Like I should at some point here, but not until I've started to bunch up a little more, I think. Otherwise, there's just miles of cord and you don't know where your shawl is. I mean, in the skein, it looks great. No ball band, though. Don't know what happened.
Did it ever exist as anything else, or was it planned to exist as something else that might be on the podcast, thus we have notes?
I believe this was going to be in the Speckle and Pop I never finished.
Ah.
I believe that's what that was, because that was the last Stephen West MCAL I did, which I didn't finish because I ended up not liking how it was turning out. So I want to do it again, but I want to do it entirely different. And then in the super handy Ziploc bag, it makes such a satisfying sound when you open it. I've done another 20 squares in the blue shade that I'm working on. So this is the Blanket of Doom. This is a blanket for my aunt. I only got 20 squares done this week, which is really not nearly enough squares. There you go. If I hold it over my face, it'll focus on the... I have, however, got the other 2 shades of blue. So now I have all of my shades of blue, and then I can keep making progress on this. So blanket progress continues. It's not very exciting. It's a 2.5 inch granny square, guys. It's literally 2 rounds on a 5mm hook. But they live in bags. Mine is being made out of Coronet Premium because who wants to hang dry a queen-sized bed? Nobody.
Definitely not.
But you can see I've got yarn in there, and there's yarn all over the floor right now. There's yarn everywhere. It's just everywhere. But that's my first 2, so I just have my 2 sweaters left.
Okay, well, I will talk about this thing that I just finished knitting back the row on. I'm working on a sleeve for the Comfort Fade Cardi. I have not made very much progress because, like, this takes an impressive amount of brain power to both negotiate a fade, make it the same as the body, and remember to do your arm decreases. So I've got, it feels very fancy anyway, counter set up on Knit Companion. So I'm using a linked counter to do the arm decreases, but I've also got another counter going because I'm in the middle of doing a fade, which is 2 or 4 rows of one color or the other. And of course they're very similar colors, so I keep screwing them up, which is why I had to unknit a row just now, because I'd used the wrong color. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
For the record, guys, I did make her a nice, interesting little stitch marker with interlocking rings set on it, so she didn't have to use Knit Companion.
Yes, but that one only has 5 or 6 or 8 rings or something.
Yeah.
Well, and I need 12.
You have 12 rows between each of your decrease sections?
Yep.
Holy Hannah.
I did think of it. It was the first thing that I thought of, but then I'm like, no, it definitely does not have 12 rings on it, and I'm going to screw it up if I try to count 6 twice.
Yeah, because most of them are 6 to 8 rounds between decreases.
Yep, this one's 12.
Wow, that's insane. Well, yeah, because way through before between decreases, you also have your fading rounds, don't you? That'll add it to it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I have not made very much progress on this, because it's a little too in-depth to work on during meetings. At least in a fade section. When I'm on a straightaway section, I can just knit and it's fine, and decrease round or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, have not been able to get very much done on this. I wanted to work on it. I have not been able to. I suppose I should say this is the Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry, and the yarn is a kit that I bought from So Into Knitting, and it is gray into purple into varying amounts of purple, gray, and white. Well, gray into purple, gray into purple, white into just purple.
Purple. You know, some people are envisioning like Crayola purple.
I mean, some of it's kind of that way. It's more of a violet.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. Violet-ish. Wow, that's really blown out. Okay.
That's so bright.
It is really bright. I swear this looks distinctly more dark purple with bits of gray in real life. It's seriously blown out right now.
This, yeah, because
versus this one, which looks...
They all just look white.
They really do. Wow, this is not helping. One of them has more white and less pink, it looks like. They're darker in real life. They don't look exactly the same, and They're very similar, but they're distinct in real life. I swear.
Well, why don't you add a little addendum to those show notes that you write there and take Instagram photo of Comfort Fade Curdy.
You know, I really should do that because I haven't taken a picture of this thing since I laid out all of the yarn.
Nope. And I would like to see a photo of it. I'm sure other people would as well, but I would really like to see a photo of
I noticed
it.
when I was doing show notes last week that I hadn't taken any recent photos of this thing. I'm gonna take a photo this week.
Excellent. Would you like me to remind you sometime around the middle of the week? You said you wanted to do that?
Probably, because I will have forgotten.
Sure, I can do that for you. It's no problem.
It lives next to my computer, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I should, do something with that and like take a picture or something. And then I don't because I'm at my desk and I'm probably working. So.
Okay.
First world problems.
What I think I'd mention is, well, besides the fact that this is my second Comfort Fade Cardi, what I've done here. Sorry, I'm doing my yarn over in my.
You mean your
last
Find Your Fade?
One.
You said
in my Find Your Fade. I
yeah.
didn't I? No, in my Find Your Fade.
Different
what
fade.
I've done is while I do the plain sections, I have a stitch marker when I start the plain section, and then you know the number of times you need to do your increases. So whatever, say 27 times for the section. I don't know, I haven't looked. It's a number of times. If you double that number, because you increase both sides in this pattern, I only have to count from the stitch marker this way to tell me when I'm ready to do my lace section.
Interesting.
Instead of having to count the whole, like a whole half. Something I figured out last time I was doing this, and I was like, I should share that with people, and then proceeded not to. My ball ran
I was
away.
just counting rows and probably getting it wrong sometimes, and it's fine. But that is also a very smart way of doing it.
Counting rows in me is a thing. All right, shall I talk about the simple hug, and then we'll do our 8 bits last, I guess.
Sure.
That's how that's working today. Hang on. Piled a sweater on top of a sweater. I don't have a fancy takeout like a PV table tray. I have a footstool.
I possess 0 footstools, otherwise I'd probably be using that.
Yep.
Honestly, I wish I had a footstool. The number of times I try to balance my foot on the edge of a cardboard box that is rapidly losing integrity.
But you're not supposed to do that with those.
No, but I don't have a footstool, and I want one.
Then get a footstool.
That involves going outside where the diseases are.
Dude, no it doesn't.
Getting things shipped here
She
is being...
works in the internet.
Getting things shipped to this building has proven difficult. Very difficult. That's what you get for having 3 postal codes with the same street address.
That's just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay, this is going to be super awkward to show because I still got a section on the needles. But we have us one simple hug. And we've got our hem down here. And then we do blue-white combos, blue-white combos, blue-white. Are you sensing a color theme? It looks kind of like horizon stripes in the sky. And it goes and goes and goes and goes. And oh, look, guess who split for their shoulders? Oh, look, guess who finished her front flap and her back flap? And she's just about finished her second front flap. I'm on to my last color, repeat now.
You're really close.
Close. So I had to make a couple of changes because I'm on this 2 pattern. So this is Simple Hug is by Cozy Up Knits. I'm doing mine garter and I'm doing mine in cotton. So you get a lot of stretch and drape change with cotton because that's the nature of cotton. So rather than doing the bind off that they recommended, it's a 3 needle bind off I think they did for this pattern. I would like something with just a touch more rigidity to it. Because, guys, I would like my shoulders to stay where they're supposed to. So I did a standard bind off without any additional stretch because, again, the cotton's going to stretch. And I'm going to crochet bind it together because I know I get a sturdier bind off down the length here and doesn't stretch as much. So again, it's going to add that little bit of extra rigidity to it that I want. So I'm going to do that. And then, because I hate raw edges, on finished things. It's just not a thing I'm a fan of. I knew I was going to pick up all the way around the front of my cardigan, and then I was thinking to myself, Jocelyn, you have navy blue yarn for another project. Your blanket, you have to order in balls of 3. You only need 2. That leaves you a whole spare ball of acrylic yarn. Why wouldn't you crochet your shoulder seams together? And then why wouldn't you take a look and see if it looks nice and crisp? And if it does, why wouldn't you just crochet a single stitch all the way down the length of those raw edges that you don't like so much of your cardigan, and just do that all the way around where the blue is?
That makes a lot of sense.
Hello, where was my brain? Not marled, so you'll get a nice little strong color line, but it won't be big like a ribbed collar would be. So I was thinking that the other day, and I was like, there's my brilliant thought for the day. And again, because I'll be doing it in acrylic, the acrylic will hold the cotton up a little and not stretch as much. So I'm going to have to make sure I do a tight joining on the shoulder seams, and then work out what size hook yarn ratio I need to get a nice clean line on the cardigans. So I am literally to 8 rows and the body's done, and then I have some cuff ribbing, hemming, cuff ribbing, sewing in ends, an edging detail, and I'm finished. So we made great progress this week on this. So I really focused in on this one. So that's it. But I only have one 8mm size needle, so it's been interesting, guys. Sections and sections at a time. And this sweater is starting to take over, because this is just all sweater. It's a lot of sweater.
Oh goodness, that is a very great deal of sweater.
It lives down the whole length of my legs while I'm working on it. It almost reaches my ankles. I got long legs. I'm sure I've told everybody on the internet how long my legs are. I'm nearly 5'11", and I didn't get here because of my torso. Let's just do that. So that just leaves my 8-bit. So that means you're up, my dear.
All right. The other thing that I can't work on while we're recording because it involves a chart with cables is
that new mindless knit you picked up to do?
I wasn't ever going to be mindless. I just really wanted to start it. Okay, let's see if I can make it focus on the thing that is not my face. No. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yep.
I have the cuff of a fingerless mitten. It's going to have nice little cables all up the front and the back, for that matter. It's pretty symmetrical. It's going to have a nice cable pattern, and apparently the yarn is working out into a nice spirally stripe of sort of a burgundy purple and a tealy green.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. But this is all I managed to do because, again, charts and meetings don't play so nice together. And I'm working on the 8-bit whenever I have dedicated knitting time, because I'm super behind on that, and even more super behind, and we'll talk about that in a second. So this
chart knitting.
Yeah, I know. Chart knitting. It's the death of me. The death of finishing anything on time. So this yarn colorway is covered in fluff. Lulu's Folly from Evie Knits. I did look up the website, and it exists, but it looks like it maybe hasn't been updated in a while, so I have no idea if this person's still making yarn. I bought this yarn several years ago, certainly pre-podcast. I bought the yarn and the pattern on the same day. This yarn has been destined to be this pattern for at least 5 years. And it finally is becoming its thing. It's fulfilling its destiny.
Fulfilling its destiny?
Finally fulfilling its destiny. What is this?
I think I have decided what I'm going to turn our minis into for the advent calendars we're exchanging.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we're exchanging 20-gram minis, you and me? Do we say
Sure.
15 or 20 grams? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Pick a
One
number
of the two.
and
I
remind
will
me
double. I
several
will double
times.
check it. There is a pair of fingerless mints. It's called Be Relentless, and it goes from your elbow down up here, and it uses minis with a neutral color in between, and then you just rainbow down the minis. And I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
That could be fun. I do like fingerless gloves.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what we're going to have to do, but I will double check the mini size requirement for that one. I have the pattern already, so, but I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, you know what, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. Yeah, I think it's 20 gram minis because it's 10 grams per mini per arm. Would you like to show off your Black Widow bag?
I like it. It's the only thing that's actually living in a project bag and not just in a pile on my desk right now. So, project bag.
You've turned into me. Now you know how I got here.
All right, I'm done.
You're done? But I'm doing that really fun and fascinating center double decrease.
Right, so I will keep talking about stuff and things. I guess what we're talking about next is the 8-bit sweater.
Sure, who would like to do the walk of shame first?
I can be shamed first. It's
okay,
here on the floor.
Okay.
Because the TV tray does not hold that many things.
No.
So I believe we're supposed to be done the clue that's after Mega Man.
Yes, which is the ghost.
The Boo Ghost from the Mario games.
Yeah, but not looked.
I just started the Mega Man chart. See? It's like row 4 or something. I'm so far behind. I haven't looked at this week's clue yet. I'm just not going to. I'm so behind.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm a solid 2 clues behind now. We all knew I wasn't finishing this on time. That's how I do these things. It wasn't happening.
I rarely finish on time, and I could. That's the thing that's the kicker. If I was a more monogamous knitter, I'd be fine. It's the fact
you can't chart knit in meetings. Like, it just doesn't work.
You can't chart knit in meetings. I can't chart knit while I'm learning. There's a bunch of stuff that I do. I can't chart knit while I'm outside painting. There's just a bunch of things I can't do right now. But your Pac-Mans look great.
So we can all admire the parts of the sweater that I've already done. And I held it up to existing sweaters, so it does look like it's coming out the right size. Thank goodness. Gauge swatch didn't lie.
Okay?
Oh, especially a sweater like this. It's like, but this one was really hard. Also, the yarn's sticky, which is great when I inevitably pull a few stitches off the needles. I can just put them back on because they're sticky and they don't unravel. But so yeah. All right. So you're probably beating me now.
Yes, only in the sheer number of rows I have to knit because I have 2 additional rounds of chart B in each pattern repeat. So I have an additional 6 rows per section to knit at a larger size. So if we're talking about sheer amount of knitting, yes. If we're talking about where we are on the charts, I haven't even started Mega Man. I'm still working through chart B.
Okay, I feel better now. I'm like, Jocelyn's gonna be finished Mega Man. She's gonna be like back on track all of a sudden, just like boom.
Nope.
I feel better. Thank you. I feel better. Thank you for handicapping yourself to my level.
You're
making me
welcome.
feel like I can actually finish something, if not on time, at least before you. Thank you for letting me think I can win. I appreciate
You're welcome. I do my best. You know? No, after I'm done working on the Simple Hug, because it's such a super dense, bulky yarn, my wrist hurts and I can't work on anything else. So I've had to do other things. But my Pac-Man are done. If you're paying attention, my Pac-Man are backwards. Which is fine. It still follows the pattern. I'm just in reverse, which... Hello, my Tetris was in reverse. Same reasoning, because I did backwards and in the round. It's just backwards. It's just backwards. It's fine.
Backwards and
It's
inside
still
out.
gonna look like a really cute Pac-Man. This is, in case you haven't watched before and haven't heard us talk about this for the last several weeks ad nauseum, is my 8-bit sweater. I'm making mine out of some amazingly toothy sport weight yarn from Briggs & Little in dark gray and white. I know, I picked some fancy colors, you guys. My body is decidedly longer than Diana's.
Yes,
Because
there's
I did that
decidedly
extra,
more space between your
yeah,
things.
to get the extra length, and yeah, I'm really happy that I did that. Cause oh man, do I need the extra length now that I'm looking at it. So I haven't even started Mega Man. So I am I'm technically still 2 clues behind because you have to do chart B before you start Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, I'm through Mega Man at the end of the week. I gotta be done this finished Simple Hug. It's so close to being finished, so it just depends on where I get with the Simple Hug. So it literally lives on my desk with a plethora of stitch markers for each individual section. Little cute fish bobbly dude for my start of round.
Oh, stitch markers. That reminds me. I finally found the D20 that I dropped like 2.5 weeks ago, and I could not find it because I
Yep.
swear I heard it hit the floor. So I was looking on the floor underneath all the furniture. Turns
Mhm.
out it had somehow landed inside the appropriate project bag. It's the bag that's holding all the yarn for this project. I don't actually keep the active sweater in the bag, so like project bag in quotations. But I found it. It was sitting in the project bag, like where it
Right
should
here.
be.
I'm gonna cut my yarn right here.
This
Here.
is exciting.
Snippy, snippy. Snippy, snippy. It terrifies Diana. I'm so excited to do it. It's not even funny. But seeing as I'll be out here
So much
possibly
color
till
work.
November, I might do a crochet pickup on the edges and then steek. We will see. We shall see. We shall see. All right, that is it for the stuff I've been working on this week.
That is it for me as well.
Woohoo! Which I suppose puts us on to wool gathering, hey?
It does, in fact. Well, let's start with our
wool.
usual. The next Patreon e-knitting is on, my notes say, October the 24th. It will be at noon Manitoba time, even though neither of us will be in that time zone.
It's just depending on when Dad's work stuff wraps up. So, like, I could be home. I could still be here. We don't know.
I definitely will not be in that time zone. In any case, that will be noon Central.
Daylight should be over at that point, shouldn't it?
I don't know. Is it October or November where that happens?
I think it's October. It varies because it moves.
Yeah.
It's not a stationary date. It's a fluctuating date between a range of dates. And I have not looked at the almanac this year for that time of the year, so I don't know.
So it'll be noon Manitoba time, whatever the heck time zone that's in, because time zone math is hard.
Math is hard.
It is seriously. I have a degree in computer science. It's rather mathy. Time zone math is the hardest thing that we do. Not even joking.
Time zone math is so hard. So hard. It's like, oh, would you like to do this time zone math? I'm like, no, I'd rather divide fractions, thank you.
Like, literally, I would rather calculate pi by hand.
Yeah. There isn't many things I would like to do before I calculate time zones. I suppose that leaves all of my bubbly stuff, hey?
Yes, you purchased some things, so please show and tell while I sit here quietly and argue with too many things going on with the sleeve.
I bought a crochet magazine about Halloween things. Halloween things. There's a bunch of really cute crafts. Isn't it boo? There's another one with a pumpkin on it, and I think the pumpkin says eek on the side. So I have gone through this and I have picked out things I would like to make because of course I did, and it's crochet and I quite enjoy crochet. And it's one of those ones that I had a hard time choosing because there were several. but none of the ones that had like the fall outfits or anything caught my eye. But this one certainly did. So I got this one. And I know it looks like it's well lit in here, but it is not well lit in here, guys. It is not. It's a spooktacular crochet. 25 beautiful projects for Halloween.
Oh.
Oh, it was bad.
Ooh.
Yep. And I enjoyed Allie Ward of Ologies, and she's got some serious dad humor. Serious dad humor.
Puns
No
are
joking.
great. The highest form of entertainment.
What did she introduce herself as this past one?
Oh, I don't know.
Hi, it's that next door labor lady who owns a ceramic chicken she decorates for Halloween. Where did you come up with that? You're a freaking genius. I
Ceramic
don't
chicken.
No, but
All
I've
right.
known people who've done that. Okay, so this is going to be a lot harder to show and tell because I'm not showing you all the things I bought. Because I'm dropping stuff on the floor. There are too many. Michael's had their big fall sale. Buy two, get one free big fall sale. No, I'm not done picking up balls of yarn yet.
Okay. This is quite the haul.
Well, to start with, if I can get my fingers in it, my last two colors of blue, super pale baby blue and navy for the blanket. The dark gray is on back order. Boo! But it's for the border because I have enough to do the squares out to the border, so I can keep making the blanket. I just can't make the border till that yarn arrives.
Okay.
So that's okay.
That's not so bad.
So we'll throw those on the bed. One didn't stay. The light blue rebelled, bounced right off the bed. Oh, rude. This is not the multiples of all the yarn I bought. This is just the colors I bought. White. This is all loops and thread impeccable because I love loops and thread impeccable. It's an impeccable. It's a nice, well-wearing, cozy, squishy acrylic. And a washer, machine dryer safe. So I bought a white ball. I bought 4 white balls. I bought a red ball. Is that red? I don't know. I'm backlit, so it's all black to me.
It looks red.
I bought 2 of those. This one is taupe green.
Looks taupe.
Taupe. 1 taupe. It's only singular one. Nope, 2 singulars I bought. Pumpkin.
Very seasonal.
4 pumpkin. We're keeping track? I don't even know. Black or purple?
Purple, I think.
Yeah, I think it's purple too. 1 purple. Here's my green.
Definitely green.
3 green? 3 green. That's black.
Yep.
5 of those. And yellow.
Oh, it's so bright.
3. 21 balls of yarn, less than $100. Wow. Just about went out and asked Mom if I could have the anniversary Carolyn cakes too, because they were also buy 2 get 1 free. Just about went out. Because you know what that is? They're 1,000 yards at $40. Well, $39.98. So if you bought 2 of them at 1,000 yards, it gets you over 2,000 yards. If you get the third one for 3, that's over 3,000 yards. That's a blanket.
That is a blanket.
That'd be $80 for a blanket.
It's not bad.
That's a pretty decent price. And because it's a variegated yarn, you wouldn't have to do fancy strips. You could just, and I would crochet it, cast on, and just go up till I'm out of yarn, and then make it a nice, and give it a nice border, and to be done. And you guys know how much I love my giant crochet blankets that I just randomly crank out for no reason.
They're weirdly addictive.
They are so addictive. It's crazy sauce. But that's what I was doing with Dad today. Listen, we bought important things like more stitch markers and felt. The very, very top, there's a stack of felt. Broke the bank with that, 59 cents a sheet.
Wild spender.
Wild spender. On top of my makeup over here, I have some thread. I needed some thread, so I got some thread colors. So, that happened. And we needed some paint, so, we went. We didn't buy a single Halloween thing. So I feel like we showed a lot of restraint.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, we're fine. You have to remember that when we were grocery shopping at Walmart on Friday, by the time my dad had put in 4 plastic $2 pumpkin bin baskets, Mom's going to turn into a thingy we've got an idea for, 2 full-sized skeletons, 4 mini skeletons, and a mermaid skeleton, the Walmart shopping cart was already half full. And then we went and put groceries in. It got interesting.
That's a lot of Halloween going on there.
And we love it. So that's exciting. Though on the bright side, this will be coming out after October has started, won't it?
Yeah.
She says, looking at the person who keeps track of dates for her.
Hang on, I need a calendar. I can do this. I can do this. If it goes up on Wednesday like it's supposed to, it will still just be September, just barely.
That's fine. If it does or if it doesn't, we can tell people what I've been working on in the background for the better part of a month now.
Yes.
Because it's time.
I have known the secrets, but yes, let's reveal the secrets. Well, your secrets. I have nothing to do with this.
I don't think there's any secrets for you.
There's no secrets for me.
There's just a really large Dropbox file coming your way.
Oh boy!
So I have several YouTube channels. I don't really use them for the most part, but we're going to start using the Amber Dragon Designs one. I will get Diana a link so she can link it for everybody down below so you can follow the link, because I spelled dragon funny. I'm going to do 31 days of crafting for the month of October. There'll be a crafty check-in video kind of vlog idea, sort of like Caroline of the Off the Grid Needleworks. She sits down, I think like 4 or 5 days a week, and she just checks in and shows you guys what she's crafting on, what she's working on. This one's going to be a daily one where I sit down and I'm going to show you the different Halloween crafts that we do. So some are outside, some are inside, some are fiber crafted, some are not fiber crafted. So it's just a mix of Halloween stuff for 31 days.
That's so much content.
And I'm not putting it on here because not everybody likes the blog style videos. So I like us having it separate so that way if you like the blog style videos, you can go there and get them, but they're not going to clutter up the feed here, because I know it's a not an uncommon complaint with people around Vlogmas that they love the person that they're watching, but because everybody does Vlogmas, it tends to be a thing. And I don't know how big Vlogmas will be this year because everybody usually only does it when they go out, but we really won't be going out. So I might do something like this again around Christmas, but around Christmas crafting and stuff. So we shall see how well I survive next month. I still haven't settled on a theme title. I don't have many days left. I gotta get it figured out.
Guess I should start on the first week's worth of thumbnails.
That would be great. That's why I'm gonna give you photos and stuff. So, but one of them happens to include the 2 skeletons that Dad bought on the couch. One of them's knitting for me.
I look forward to this.
Trying to get some good ones for you, and I will take a picture of the dire mole rat thing.
I need to know what this dire mole rat thing is.
I will make sure that's one of the thumbnail photos. That's not a problem. All right. I suppose that's everything. Whew.
I think so.
Sweet. In which case, I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Knit.
Super not on time.